Hello there, my name is Malika and I love to talk about movies, and today I'm so excited that I get to have a movie chat with my Viper. And of course it makes sense to talk about the movie Wanted with my Viper because after all, in the trailers for this movie they had the Viper. There was this big scene where Angelina Jolie is driving in a donut and she picks him up in the car while she's driving in the Viper. And that's what made me watch that movie, of course. I have always been a big Viper fan. It is so fun to see these cars. So of course, I had to sit with my girl while we filmed this video. Now I do have to apologize. My feet are very dirty, I'm sorry. I was walking around and we actually did some pedal pumping videos with the car earlier, and it is just, we're in a garage, it's dirty. Sorry about that. Anyways, this movie was released in 2008. It stars James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie, and of course there's a lot of other characters, but those two are the main ones. James McAvoy plays a guy who is kind of not really right where he wants to be in his life. He's got this anxiety issue. He works in an office with this terrible office manager who is very annoying and does staples in his ear, not on his ear, near his ear, so she's just very annoying and obnoxious, and it just grates at his nerves, and his girlfriend is horrible and she's cheating on him. He's just not in a good place in his life. He feels like he's not where he belongs. And that's where Angelina Jolie kind of comes in. She kind of takes him away from this situation, but in an interesting way. It seems like, and they make it seem like this in the movie, that there is a guy trying to off James McAvoy's character. His name is Wesley in the movie. And it seems like this guy is trying to assassinate Wesley. Now that's not exactly what's happening, of course. We find out in the end of the movie that that is actually his dad, and his dad is trying to save Wesley from Angelina and all her characters. Now Angelina's character name in this movie is Fox, and she is part of what's called a fraternity, a secret group of assassins that uses a loom of destiny. So every time the loom makes a mistake and the thread goes over instead of under or something, they consider that kind of a code. Morgan Freeman plays Sloane, whose job it is to interpret the loom of destiny. And what that loom tells him to do is to assassinate people. So if they don't assassinate the person, they don't know what's going to happen, but it's kind of like the butterfly effect. If you don't take out that guy, then they could take out a lot of people later type of thing. So that's what they go by. That's their code. They just go by whatever the loom says, and Sloane is kind of in charge of that whole thing. So of course Wesley has to go through all this training, and what we find out about his anxiety attacks is that it is actually a hyper-focused. So they have kind of a matrix type ability where they can bend bullets. They go psh, and it goes around the corners, and they can jump really, really far by using this hyper focus. Now what they're telling Wesley as they're training him is that his dad was very much into the fraternity. He was a great fraternity member. He was backing them. He was one of the team, and this guy that was following him in the beginning is the one that actually assassinated his dad. So he's the bad guy. But as I said, that is actually his dad, and his dad's trying to keep him away from the fraternity because the fraternity is corrupt. Of course, with anybody who gets power, they're going to use this power for their own good. What we find out is that Sloane was manufacturing assassination orders, and the loom had actually come up with all of the people's names in the fraternity. So they were all supposed to assassinate each other. And of course, Sloane didn't want to do that, did he? So he started kind of manufacturing them, and he was doing it for money as well. So it was a little bit corrupt, and his dad found out about it and was trying to stop the whole thing. This movie is a really fun action flick. There's lots of action, lots of bullets flying, lots of fighting, and a lot of his training is really fun. They actually use a paraffin bath type thing to heal themselves very quickly. And as per usual, I don't really give it justice with my little movie chat here, but it's definitely a movie worth watching if you like to be entertained. So towards the end of the movie, Wesley starts realizing that his dad is the good guy that was against the fraternity, and he does end up shooting his dad and then realizing that he was wrong and the fraternity members are the bad guys. And it was actually one of the best endings of the movie I've ever seen because they found an interesting way to bring in little tiny bombs to go throughout the entire building. You'll have to see it to know what I'm talking about. And also the very end where all the fraternity members get assassinated is a very interesting way, as you can see by my hand movement here. They use a little bit of a circular motion with their curved bullets, and they take them all out at one time. And because Wesley has been trained so well, he decided to take on the role that his father had left of protecting the world from the fraternity. Now Wesley is the one in charge of that, and that's kind of where the movie ends. Now, I think that you'll really enjoy this movie. It's definitely an action movie. It's got the car, it's got the guns, it's got the action and the violence that you'd want to see, but it's got a lot of heart too, and great acting. And the premise is really cool and very unique, which is hard to find in movies, to be honest. I hope you enjoyed this Movie Chat Monday. I hope you enjoyed seeing my beautiful car, and I hope to see you next Monday. Bye.